to another episode of Teen Talk New York. I'm your host, Shaquasia Brown. I'm here with my first guest today, Coach Matt. So today we're going to be talking about how hip-hop influenced the young generation of today. So, Coach, do you think that hip-hop influenced the young generation?
First of all, Shaquasia, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I think hip-hop plays a huge role in impacting the lives of our young generation. Hip-hop has become one of the leading influences and sources for information for our kids, also for everything, news and everything. So I think hip-hop does play a huge role, absolutely.
Okay, so do you think, based on the past, like the artists in hip-hop, do you think that it has changed over time?
Yeah, absolutely. From my experience in growing up, when hip-hop first originated, it was all about rap. It was all about just, your lyrics and your spoken word. Now, a lot of a rap is commercialized. A lot of it is a facade. And, what that means is that a lot of the rappers don't live the lives that they portray. But for our teenagers and our youth, this is what they see, so this is what they want. So it has definitely changed over time. It's going away from the lyricism of it to more of the commercialized entertainment aspect of, I need more ratings or I need more followers.
So do you think it has, like, the images that are portrayed in the media, that it has an effect on younger kids that are like little brothers and sisters?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if our young kids are turning on the TV every day and they're looking at Lil Wayne, or they're looking at our young girls looking at Nicki Minaj, these young people, while they're talented, our young kids are being distorted by the images that they see, by the fancy cars and the glitz and the glamour. But what they don't realize is that a lot of these rappers or these artists, they work hard, and they work hard on a daily basis. And what should be done is our kids should see the other side of that. They should see the lights, beyond the glory. So I think it plays a huge impact.
Do you think that any hip hop artist actually shows a positive side of being in the music industry? Yeah,
there's some artists out there that show the positive side of it, because there's some realistic artists out here. But at the end of the day, entertainment sells. So I think a lot of artists, they try to find a balance between what's real and what can sell.
Yeah. And
sometimes I think the premise of selling albums or making money overtakes the art of what hip hop is, and it's become a lost art nowadays. So anybody can rap. Yeah. You and I can rap. We can go out and make an album, make a one-hit song, and the song can maybe have 20 words in it. But if it's catchy and it's commercial and people will dance to it, then guess what? We're rappers too. So go figure.
So do you think that hip hop artists that actually has a bad image outweighs the artists that have good images?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You very rarely hear about the artists who speak about positive lyrics. Mm-hmm. All the lyrics nowadays talk about gang violence, guns, drugs, money, sex. And when you hear artists who rap about politics and who rap about empowering the youth and empowering our culture, those rappers kind of fall along the wayside, So hopefully we can get a happy medium where the rappers can entertain but also have a good message behind what they're saying as well. So let's hope hip-hop continues to grow, because it's growing with the internet and all the multimedia and the social aspects of Facebook and Instagram. Nowadays, all you got to do is put a song on like Bobby Shmurda and you can be a one-hit wonder. But what if Bobby Shmurda's hit song was about empowering young black men or young black women? Would it get as many views, or would he be rich and millionaire as he is now because of some of the songs that he's singing, So that's something that it's up to our kids to be able to see the right and wrong. And it's okay to have goals and dreams and visions, but you also have to be realistic too. Mm-hmm. And I think some of these rappers aren't realistic with our kids.
Yeah.
So
what do you think we can do to change what's going on in society with music?
I think the more educated that we are with our young people, the more aware they are. So the more educated you are, the more you can understand the lyrics now.
Yeah.
Some people like music because of the beats. They don't really listen to the lyrics. And then once you hear the lyrics, you realize that a lot of these rappers say the same things over and over again. It becomes redundant.
Just in a different way.
Just in a different way, just with a different beat, and maybe with a featured guest that we all like. And I think what has to happen is that our kids need to read more.
Yeah.
You know, and our kids need to be exposed to different things. And the more they're exposed to different things, the more they can see the reality of what life really is.
What different things do you think that they need to?
More culturally aware activities, more engaging of different people, more social interaction and stuff like that. Forums like this, you know, this is great, man. The more young people that you can reach out to, and then you can get them to understand that their words are powerful and that their message can be heard and be delivered, I think we all benefit from it. Adults, teachers, coaches as well. So I constantly find myself every day trying to teach my student athletes on how to be better. And sometimes I use rap terms and stuff like that, terminology, stuff that I know that they're going to remember.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start using that to turn that into a positive.
Okay, so thank you, Coach Matt, for coming.
Thanks for having me. It's just a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Please
look out for the Lady Kangaroo basketball program. We're on the rise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we'll be back with our second guest, Damon Lawrence.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Have you been a dad today?
Welcome back to Teen Talk New York. I'm here with my second guest, Mr. Lawrence, who's a dean here at Research and Service. So we're going to be talking about how hip-hop influenced the young generation. So do you think hip-hop influenced the young generation?
Absolutely. I believe that music plays a very instrumental part in children emulating what they hear based on the video content, the lyrical content, and it actually shows in their behavior. So yes, I definitely believe that the hip-hop culture influences today's youth.
Okay, do you think that from artists in the past in hip-hop and artists now, it has changed over time?
Yeah, it's definitely changed over time because as a youth myself, I listened to music, and myself, I remember emulating behavior that I heard or seen in a video. But the difference then was we had a lot more positive or conscious rap where, you know, everything that we emulated or everything that we heard wasn't something that was necessarily negative, whereas today the music is a lot more violent, the music is a lot more vulgar, the censorship on music is almost non-existent now, and you can just see it in the behavior of the children. It reflects in their direct behavior.
What do you think contributed to the images that we see in the media of hip-hop artists?
Well, we do live in America, and you know, African Americans in this country have never been portrayed in a positive manner. We've always been portrayed as beings of less moral standards, pretty much savages almost. So absolutely. So that is definitely a fact.
Okay, so you have a son who's a teen. So do you think hip-hop influenced him in the way he acts?
Well, it's influenced some of his behavior, but fortunately for us, we don't really allow hip hop in our house too much, to the point where it can, you know, drown him out and drown his own thoughts and perceptions of himself and what's around him out. So, but it definitely does, because we speak about it. You know, he'll ask me questions about certain rappers and, you know, the messages that they send and the things that they say. And I'll see, you know, his dress change based on, you know, like he likes Fab. Fab is a rapper that he likes a lot. And I'll see him, you know, wear his hat a certain way. Then I'll have a little joke with him, or that's the Fab style, or whatever the case may be. So it definitely influences him also. Absolutely. He's not exempt.
Do you think the students in research and service are affected by hip-hop?
Being that we are a transfer school, we do have a multitude of our population is actually kids who are a little bit troubled, or who have attempted to get through high school and have failed in some sort, so they land here at research and service. And if the language, you know, the communication that I have with them definitely exhibits that hip hop is a a big and major influence on them based on the negativity that they hear about themselves. So there's a song that's out. It's called "Worst Behavior" by the artist Drake, and a lot of the kids they aspired to, when the song first dropped, like you would hear them, saying the words, and then if you look at their behaviors towards education, it definitely exemplified that they were comfortable being on their worst behavior. So it's definitely shown in their behavior here at Research and Service that our students have in some way or another been influenced by the music of today.
Okay, so what do you think we could do to change how people behave to music or actually listen to music and think, oh, I should do what this rapper says in his song?
I don't think that children should follow music. I think music should have it's gonna have an influence on you because, these are things that are put in your mind and through your ears, through your earlobes, and this thing has an adverse effect on how you think about things. So if we keep hearing, I'm in love with the cocoa, baking soda. We know what these things do. Like these things, these substances are used to, cook up cocaine. We know cocoa is, cocaine. So if we can replace those things with a little bit more conscious lyrics, then, we can begin to make an indentation in our youth. So the first thing we need to do is we need to educate our kids on who they are, and that we are not, drug dealers, drug lords, thugs, strippers, reality television stars. Like we come from royalty. Like we come from, our ancestors are African, and the greatest kingdoms, that have ever been on the earth have been on that continent. And that's who we are, and we need to get back to that. So we need to educate our kids first, which is what we try to pump here at Research and Service, and then eventually the trickle-down effect will be these kids will be a little bit more conscious of their behavior and the things that they do. So that's one way we can do it. Another way we can do it is we can pretty much boycott the music. We can boycott the music. We need to write petitions. We need to get on our local politicians so that censorship could be had again, because there's no censorship in the music. Like I don't remember growing up listening to the radio and hearing the B word, and certain languages, certain words, like on regular syndicated radio. I've just never seen it before. So we need to. There's a lot of things we need to do, but the first thing we need to do is we need to educate our kids. So Shaquasia, let me ask you, how do you think that hip hop influences your generation?
I think hip hop mainly influenced young men of the generation because of the way they dress and the way they speak to women or anybody, such as like parents, grandparents, anybody. So yeah, I think it affects a lot of teens in the way they act around in society.
Right. So I do have another question. So do you think that you can group up the reality TV shows in the hip hop genre?
Yeah, I do.
Do you see that as having an influence on
reality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your generation?
Yeah, I do, because when you see other things on TV or anywhere, you might want to be like, oh, I want to try this. But it's not always good for you to even try it or to even be watching it.
Gotcha.
But not everybody realizes that.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence, for being a guest on the show. I'm your host, Shaquasia Brown. See you next time.